therapist. So, yes, today it was really, really hot today. It's got a little relief because it rained this morning, but I think it's going to still be really, really hot this afternoon. And, when my wife first came to the United States from a very, very warm country, Philippines, it was in the depressing time of winter when it was below freezing, but it wasn't as cold as it gets around here. And her first words in the airport inside the terminal was, "It's so cold." And so my response to her was, "Well, you think it's cold now, we're still inside the building. Wait till you go outside." She said, "Oh." And then I said, as cold as it can get here, believe it or not, it can get hotter than you've ever imagined it in the summertime. It's like, oh no, that's not true. That can't be. I'm like, yeah, we have this thing here in the States, or in Missouri, called seasons. Really hot in the summer and very humid a lot of time, and cold in the winter. Anyway, so my friend has come back from an internship in Europe, and so we visited last night and had a nice time. We met his girlfriend, and yeah, we had a really good time. Had a nice little cookout. Mosquitoes were a little bad. I got eaten up, but that's fine. After we finally hooked up after a lot of miscommunication trying to use Facebook chat, Messenger, or whatever it's called. There's that. And then the other really big news is I've gone and ordered the Super Wembly. Now, the funny story is I work with a person and we use 3-axis brushless gimbals, which are basically 3 motors that operate on the X, Y, and Z axis, and they keep a camera steady. It's a steady mount. You can walk around, you can even run with it, and it's really steady. It's like a steady cam, but for a mere fraction of the cost and setup and everything. And so, the ones that I've been using are only good for the weight of a GoPro. Well, there's a lot of things you can't do with a GoPro. Your lens is fixed for one thing. You can't zoom or do anything like that. You can't really use external mics on them. And you definitely can't run video out. Like if you were trying to use it to broadcast a live shot or something, it's only for recording and using the mic inside the GoPro. So my goal was eventually to come up with a super gimbal, and the reporter I work with couldn't think of the word gimbal, so she asked me, "Are you going to use your Wembly?" And so we were laughing about it. I said, "No, it's called a gimbal." And then afterwards, we, at least at where I work, we started referring to them as Wemblys. And so what I've got now is what we are calling the Super Wembly. It will hold up to 5 pounds, which is plenty of weight for a hopefully my AX33 Sony camcorder, but definitely enough for my my mirrorless camera, the Sony Alpha A6300, and we're going to use that hopefully to save my back, keep me from holding cameras for long periods of time during these active live shots. And also, there are a lot of other great advantages to it. I mean, the video will look great, especially, no more seasickness for people at home jostling the camera, because no matter how really good you are, it's hard to keep a camera steady. Fast moves and things like that when you're shouldering it. And yes, we are expected to shoulder them during our live hits because we're expected to do what's called active live shots, which is like walking and talking and running and gunning. Anyway, you know, I've discussed this with my therapist and everything, and he thinks it's a good idea, and the total setup with the gimbal and the camera on it should be no more than 10 pounds, which is impressive considering how much equipment is in there. And to get the video out of the camera, I will use a ribbon HDMI cable, and you know, a little nervous about it because it's always experimental, but I plan on getting one anyway for my own stuff. And so yeah, that's the news from, I was gonna say that's the news from Lake Wobegon, then I couldn't think of anything clever to say that would be like the negative of that. Lake full of woe. But anyway, gotta go to my therapist. See ya.